Wait, did you just record?
I didn't. I wasn't recording. And I'm
Let's restart.
so yeah, and I'm so pissed because that Britney joke was hilarious. Okay,
Well, I'll say it again.
okay, perfect. We got to redo. So here we go. Oh my gosh, this might be a cold open. The fact that I didn't record, and the best part is we have our whole process where I go, I'm recording, and then you go, I'm recording, and I'm like, and I'm recording the meeting, and I didn't do that. I've just messed up. Okay. All right, here we go. Round two. And welcome back to Thoughts the Roundtable with me, Matt Rebar.
And me, Paul Laux.
Paul, do you want to take a guess when our last recording was?
August 12th.
Ooh, August 6th. Someone's been listening to the podcast recently.
Well, it is mine.
Yeah.
Like,
You know.
I'll tell you, if there's anything, we're consistently inconsistent. So
Yeah. So what's been going on since August 6th, my friend?
you remember when I was on radio, I used to go by the name Chops.
Yes. Yes.
I had a Facebook page for that, and it kind of resurfaced again on notifications like, hey, remember when you used to have fun in life and do this stuff? And so I think I'm going to revive that and maybe go by Chops again and start posting on there again so I can have my 3 followers actually hear something from me.
This is like the 5th reincarnation of Chops. Like, you're like Britney Spears. This is like your 15th comeback.
Well, you can never kill a bad bitch, so.
Okay, period. Because I love how, like no one's on Facebook anymore. So I like how Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, they're like, okay, we got to bring people back on Facebook. So what are we going to do? We're going to remind people of what they used to do on Facebook and hope that they like do it again. Like you spend all this time bringing back the Chops Facebook page,
Mm-hmm. I honestly, sometimes I wonder, like, do they purposely try to make us sad? Because this happened to me the other day. You have an Apple iPhone, right?
Yes.
Okay. So does it ever happen to you where you be just chilling and you get a notification where it takes like a collection of your old photos and puts it like the saddest music you've ever heard? And you're like, why did I just have to be depressed? Like I was having a good day. And then Apple like sensed it. It's like, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to make your day horrible and just totally upend it.
The worst too is when you see pictures of people that you've had like falling outs with, or you don't talk anymore, like in a burnout way, and you're like, oh, like, we used to be friends, and now we don't speak anymore, and it's like, oh.
How? Be honest with me.
Yeah.
Are you? How much of a Facebook user are you still?
Okay, so
because it's a 2-part. First of all, this is a 2-pronged question. This is only part A.
So can I be honest? So Meta, which
no,
is Facebook
lie to
and
me,
Instagram,
please.
I just like to lie to a bad bitch. So Meta, Facebook, Instagram, they're now paying me for content. So in the last 2 weeks, I've used Facebook in like the last 2 weeks as much as I probably used it like the whole year before. Because
where's my cut?
Well, none of them have you in it. But if because it's my personal feed got monetized.
Wait, how did your personal feed get monetized? I've never heard that.
So I've been uploading some of the reels. Like I was casually uploading some reels. One of them got like 300,000 hits. And it was like slowly after, like right after that happened, Facebook was like, hey, you can get a bonus. And what's weird though, is it says I have until November like 4th to make as much money as I can. And so like, I don't know, does that mean like going forward after November 4th, like they're not going to pay me money? And if that's true, then like, I'm not going to post anything until they once again go, hey, it's bonus season. You can make money. Like I'm spending a lot of effort. And to be fair, Paul, I've only made like $5 in 2 weeks. It's not like I'm making like, it's like not even enough for a Venti Starbucks, but yeah, so it's been interesting. But
what was your reel that got 300,000 views?
So the ones that have been doing really well in TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, it's the Do Not Play Wedding playlist. So people are really fascinated by those. And so like the ones on TikTok, man, like I have one that has like 5 million views. I think 2 or 3 have like 3 million. Another 5 have like 1 million. Like they've been racking up, and I think it's because people are like psychologically interested in understanding like, okay, why do they not want that music? Why do they want this music? Like it's almost like and it's also like a discussion on music. So it's been fun. I mean, it's not like my favorite content I've ever made because it's like really simple. I'm just taking like my job and taking a picture of my job and like posting it. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
but hey,
That's still.
I mean,
Can you imagine getting 5 million people into a room? Be like, these people all listen to my one video.
I know. I mean, it is kind of crazy.
How much did you get from that? What is their payout for that?
Okay, I'll tell you how much I made on TikTok, but I don't want to. If anyone who's listening, no, you can't like call me up and ask for a loan. I've been monetized on TikTok since August, and I just cleared $500.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not much at all for that level. I would feel. Am I
Really?
shocked by that?
I felt like I was expecting when TikTok said, "Hey, we'll pay you." I was like, "Oh, it'll be like $1 a week or like $2 here and there, like Starbucks money." This is like small vacation money. This is like $500 is like I could go to Michigan and rent a cabin for a weekend money. That's like like two Costco trips money.
What if it was like, okay, thank you, we've paid you this money, but now you have to move to Beijing.
Listen, if someone wanted to pay me a lot of money, I would consider living in Beijing for a year. It's not on my to-do list, but hey, if you say, "Hey Matt, I'll pay you $200,000 to be an artist for a year in Beijing," I would do that. Who wouldn't do that?
Me. So moving on. No, I feel like I've been
responsibilities. You have kids.
Yeah, I got things tying me down. I can't just gallivant away. Like bad bitch Matt over here. But what was I gonna say? I feel what's really frustrating is, I feel like I've been on social media. I feel forever. Like I was one of the first people to get on Facebook way back when, and Instagram I was a little bit slower on. But I've never cracked the code because I'd put a lot of my stuff on there, like my photography, and I put audio on there, and I've never cracked the code. I've never got like anything like viral. And I don't know if that's just an effort thing or if that's just a luck thing. I don't know. I really don't know.
I was interviewed by a student recently, and the student asked, they were doing they wanted to talk to a professional, and I guess I'm a professional, which I was like, that seems wrong. And they were asking, like, well, they were like, well, you're successful. Like, what's it like? How do you feel like being successful? And I was like, well, let's throw that back, because I was like, I don't feel necessarily successful. Like, I don't go up and around and go, I'm successful. Look at here. Come here to the town square. Let me tell you about my success. And I said, to me, like, I'm excited when things do well, but like, I always position myself where I'm doing things that I want to do. So like that to me is success, is being able to, work, create, play, be with friends, people that matter to me. Like that is what I think success is. And it's not like a monetary thing. It's not a amount of people thing. It's not an influence thing. It's just like, wow, I get to wake up and create content. I get to wake up and write. I get to wake up and make D-list pop music. So for me, when I get asked that question of success, like it's just like, dude, like I don't even care in a good way. Like I just want to be able to do, what I want to do. I want to wake up and I get to do that. And like, that is like, to me, what makes me happy. And like, oh my God, my whole desk just, but, I guess I'm just so successful that the whole desk is falling apart. So,
I just don't understand why I have been able to break it. I want to just break it once in my life. That's my goal.
Well, there is that famous quote, Paul, like everyone gets their 15 minutes. So maybe
Andy
you haven't
Warhol,
had your
right?
15 yet. Yeah, you haven't had your 15 yet. So one of these days you're going to have your 15. I think if anything, I've probably had too much of my 15. I think.
What was that Daniel Tosh joke where he was talking about that? And he goes, well, people understand. He goes, that's an average. And then he turned to the crowd and goes, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then he points to himself, goes 20 years, and then 0, 0.
Oh my God.
But no, and the thing that sucks about it is I feel like video content is really kind of the landscape now. And which makes sense, and I just don't do enough of that. I really don't. I really should, but my medium is photography, so it kind of sucks that like that's my mode of choice because I'm really not the best videographer.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, you gotta like understand, like, if you want to do photography, do photography. I think, this idea of chasing what people want or what people expect or what quote works viral, like, I mean, I think that's like only part of the equation. And if that's like the main motivation, like, are you gonna do what you want to do? Like, would you be happy, getting even double the amount of views that you get on your photos by doing videos that you don't really want to be doing? Is it worth it? And I personally, it wouldn't be worth it to me. If someone came to me and said, do this type of content or do this type of art medium, like drawing. I'm like an okay cartoonist at best, but like drawing, I hate. But if I drew something and someone goes, oh, I'll pay $300 for that. Like, would I like doing it? Oh, I like how you're just yawning. You don't even care about this metaphor.
I don't give a crap about it.
But I don't know. I think it's just the important thing is like you have to like what you do, and then of course maybe eventually you'll get more traction with it. But
see, that's the thing, and social media is fantastic. Really, like I know there's tons of people who think like it's the bane of the world. That's gonna, look at you sipping tea over here, not listening. You bad at me about yawning.
Okay, me sipping orange juice means I'm listening. You yawning means you're bored.
You're like seductively sipping on a teacup over there, but
first of all, this is a giant ass mug. This is not a teacup. I can't. I mean, like, look. I mean, that's a big mug. Okay, continue.
But anyways, so well, now I lost my train of thought. But social media is great, and it leads to because you can get so much out there. But I feel like, and I've talked to people who are the same way, like graphic designers or other photographers or things like that. And it's almost like you now spend 60, 70, 75% of your time not doing the artistic stuff that you want to get out there. You're like focusing it on trying to get it out on the mediums itself. So it's almost like the majority of your work is not even the work you like doing. And it didn't, it feels like it didn't used to be that way. It feels like that was a very, very sudden thing. And I feel like TikTok really pushed that over the edge, to be honest. I feel like that's what really drove that. Do you agree or what do you think?
Well, I just think we live in a society, right, that it values work and it values money. And so we see more and more companies, they're not filling out all the jobs they used to have. So you have more people doing more work, and then they're being told to do things that are outside of their original purview. Like, I don't know, like, I'm kind of making up an example, but, like, let's say you have a company in the 80s or 90s that had, this giant communications department, and it slowly kind of gets downsized to where now, instead of just hiring a graphic designer, a copywriter, you have people filling like 2 or 3 roles. Even my full-time job, and I'm loving my new full-time job, I really am. I am in a way doing like 3 different roles in one position.
Oh, me too.
And it's one of those things where I think in the past that might have been 2, 3 different positions altogether, and it's kind of like we're kind of crunching. And I think that's a little dangerous for, a few reasons, right? But, it does make you, I wanted to be a graphic designer, but now I'm doing graphics and I'm doing this and this and this. It does make some people, I think, fall into those traps where their company then expects things like that wasn't originally what they, signed a contract for.
Right. And I do social media too in my job for a living. And it's just that alone is a huge job. And I don't know. It's wild to see from what it was back in 2008, 2009 to now. And there's good things about it and there's bad things about it. And it's almost like depending on the day and how you feel is what's leading. But it's almost just sad in a way. Like, I love it, but it's sad in a way to see so many people trying to push their way to the next level. Like, it's like fighting for scraps almost, it feels like at times, But it's still a very interesting medium, and I'm glad it's there because it's really easy to get your own stuff out. But I just wish it was a little bit more genuine. I feel like the companies now themselves focus way too much on pushing the content they want out there. And this isn't me like a free speech thing. Obviously, I feel like there should be some sort of content control. I do. But I feel like that's different than the news feeds you get and the sponsored content and the trying to beat the algorithm. And that is tiring. And it's weird that I see so many great things out there, like people I'll find, and they get no traction. And then you'll see the most random stuff get 20, 30, 40 million views, and it's confusing. But
I mean, I talked with a student about this the other day, and I think a lot of content that does really well, I mean, it's just simple and it's easy and it evokes a quick emotion, whether that's, oh, that's so stupid, that's so funny, that's so sad, right? It's something that's really kind of quick and, tapping into that. And that's why it does succeed. I don't think there's any content out there that I see and I go, I'm confused why that's necessarily succeeding. I can easily see why things that I think are stupid or, unfunny, etc., I can see why they're doing well. And then too, I mean, you have a lot of these creators, right, who have built these fan bases and who are now resting on laurels. They're putting out really bad content, but they have so many millions of likes and follows or whatever that even their bad content is doing okay. Could they be doing better? Yeah, if they tried or if they really cared. But they're just they're sitting around collecting a paycheck, right? I mean, shoot, if I was in a position where by doing the bare minimum, I'm still getting paid $150, $250 a day off of my streams, off of my what have you. I mean, that's not a bad life,
I was watching this really interesting interview with Bo Burnham, and he was going over what he called the death of YouTube. And you know how we got to start, right? He started making videos in his childhood bedroom about he would sing about random stuff, and he had a point because he goes, YouTube is what got me famous. He said, this is what he said. He goes, YouTube has got me to where I am. It's got me famous. People finding those videos that I did. And he's like, it's very disheartening that he goes, YouTube isn't that way anymore. He goes, those videos aren't the things that aren't going to be viral anymore.
Yeah.
Like random, because we all know of the first couple of videos we saw on YouTube, especially the ones that went huge. And he had a point. He goes, those aren't going to be the viral things anymore. It's going to be clips from celebrities or influencers. And he goes, it's kind of sad that those random moments are no longer, they're still there, but you'll never find them again.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, and just kind of to see the medium in its way, kind of, obviously it's huge and it is great, but it's died off from what it used to be. And that is, and it's growing pains, and I get that. But it is interesting at the same time.
I'm curious, even 10 years from now, what digital media, what social media, what that entertainment experience, what the content experience, what that's going to look like. Because even in our lifetimes, when we were in college, let alone high school, let alone even 8th, 5th grade, I mean, we've seen like the death of the paparazzi. Celebrities don't need paparazzi anymore. They can post whatever they want to cultivate their image. We have, like you said too, this rise of kind of this, almost falseness of I'm going to present myself on social media as a certain way. And, behind the scenes, that's not who I am. And like you said too, I mean, we have people who are doing legitimately amazing, this is great content that doesn't get traction, doesn't get views, doesn't get any likes. But that still doesn't deny that it's great. It's kind of like if a tree falls, does it make a sound? Yeah, just because I wasn't there to hear the sound doesn't mean the sound didn't exist. So I will be interested to see, what apps continue to do well, what goes by the wayside, what new social media will come along and change the landscape. I mean, how many social media apps have we probably looked into? It's gonna be the next big thing, and it wasn't. And even TikTok. I didn't think TikTok was gonna last. I was like, oh, it's just a fad, right?
I actually have a question for you because I've been asked this or told this rather a bunch of times by bunch of different people, and I have an opinion on it. I I can assume you know what mine is, but I'm curious what yours is. It's people who say they are convinced 100% that social media as a whole will die and go away.
No.
And my thoughts on it, like, absolutely not. It is way too ingrained in our blood, in our brains, in our minds, and it has touched this psychological pin in our head that we will never, ever, it'll go away. By the time we're 50, 60 years old, the apps that we're talking about now on social media, I have a feeling won't be here anymore. But there will be something there.
I definitely agree with that. I do not think social media, we're never going to become this like unenlightened society that goes, we don't need social media. We're always going to have something. Never. Is that going to be
It's
Facebook?
like a
Is it
drug.
Gonna be TikTok? Is it going to be Instagram? No, maybe not. Maybe it's something new, but I think we're way too, like you said, it's too ingrained. It's too normalized. I mean, how many times do we like look at a phone during the day? I'm so guilty. You know what I hate, Paul? I hate when my phone tells me how many hours I've been on the phone or whatever. I get horrified. It's horrifying. And the fact that every week it goes up. It's like, your phone usage went up. And I'm like, no, it's already too high. So, I don't know.
What is it at? I'm curious.
Oh, dude, it's probably like 7 hours a day.
Well, you use it for work, so I'll give you a break.
Yeah, and like, to be fair, like, okay, so if I'm listening to a podcast or music, does that count? Like, because my phone's being active, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe.
But, no, it's social media will always be around, and I guess I took this in a much more negative route than I thought it was going to be. But it's more of just like, I wish it was just a little bit more in the hands of the users than the companies themselves, if that makes sense.
But like, we're in a capitalist society. I mean, these companies, like, they benefit by it being in their hands, right? Like the idea of letting the user construct the space, that there's no money in that, because then, like, wouldn't that mean?
But you understand why I'm disappointed with that.
Yeah, I can see that. I think what you're saying is that we should create our own social media experience.
Oh God, can you imagine if we had our own
Thoughts app?
Social media? Oh my, Thoughts app. We can call it the THAP.
Oh my God, the FAP. Jesus Christ, it sounds like fapping. Oh my God.
Why would you say it out loud? That was meant to be more of a pun.
Oh, I just didn't think you thought that through. I don't know.
Matt, this is a child podcast.
This is not a child. Listen,
friendly.
Pull that car
family
over. If you
friendly.
have a child in your car right now, I don't care if that child is saying goo goo gaga or is on TikTok on a phone. You turn this podcast off. We are not child friendly around here. We are 18 and over. I don't care if you're in Italy and you'd say, oh, monsieur, legal age in Italy is 16. Okay, that was French. I don't care. 18 and over.
Yeah, what was that?
I was trying to do Italian, but that was like, oh.
Man,
ratatouille.
You are on it tonight. Speaking of social media,
our French listeners are going to be so upset with me.
Do we even have French listeners?
Well, if we did,
do we even have U.S. listeners at this point?
Actually, all our listeners are from Mars. Clearly. Oh my God.
No, but did you see Kanye West bought Parler?
Why? That thing is like financially a sinking ship.
I thought Parler was gone. I thought it officially went away.
Here's my thing. I get the idea, like, I'm gonna make a stand, or I'm gonna, have a controversial business. But like, you want to try and make money? Like, how is he gonna make money off that? He's not gonna make money.
He won't. No. Truthfully, do any social media platforms make money besides Facebook and Instagram? I know Twitter hemorrhages
No, TikTok
money.
makes it.
Yeah, that's true. I know Twitter is like a dumpster fire, which is weird that Elon wants to buy it. It hasn't made money in like a few years. Yeah.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense, because I see promoted tweets and stuff though. Like, they're definitely selling things, right?
Well, they spend money, but they don't bring it in. It's all just, and Uber, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure I'll be corrected when I say this, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Uber has ever made money. Mm-hmm. Like these startup companies like this, they'll just get ass loads of investors, and that's where the money comes from.
Here
and
we
they
go.
just never return on it.
In 2021, Twitter generated $4.5 billion from advertising and $570 million from data licensing. While Twitter generated $5 billion in total revenues, it lost $221 million. Okay, so it looks like at best it's like not doing as high. Like it doesn't seem like it's losing money.
Didn't you just say it was lost 220 some million?
Well, it made $5 billion and it lost 221. It looks like. It's interesting though if you look at I'm like trying to do like research on the fly a little bit, but Oh, this website's called 4 Week MBA, so I don't know. I don't know how trusted that could be. Can you imagine getting your MBA and it's called 4 Week MBA? Imagine going to getting your MBA in 4 weeks. Like what? Like oh my god.
Can you imagine like citing a source? Matt, where did you get this information from? I went to goofyshoesoutthebox.org.
Here's some fake news. Where'd you get that? At 4weekmba.com. Very legitimate.
Speaking of fake news, I was convinced that when Trump left office, he was going to start a television station. I was convinced.
Does he? I don't think he has the money, though. He doesn't have the money.
That's what I thought about. I was like, he probably doesn't have the funds to do it.
I think he's broke. I mean, maybe not like
you remember
broke.
Remember From the Desk of Donald Trump? That thing?
No, wait, which one was that? I can't keep up with this.
That was when he had only been out for a couple months, and it was essentially Twitter, but he was the only user. Like it was just him, and what he was sneaky because he made it so like the things he put on From the Desk of Donald Trump you could share to a tweet, and so basically he was back on Twitter again, but it was like. It was just trash, and the website was just ass, and it just didn't work.
It's really hard. I got to be honest with you. Like, I'm the kind of person, like, I either laugh or I cry, and that whole, like, looking back at those years, like, it's hard because, like, I want to cry and I want to laugh at the same time, just because of, like, how ridiculous it was, but, like, cry because I'm like, that was the president. This was, like, our national administration. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a...
I do miss the fake Trump tweets. Some of those were the best.
Oh my god!
What was the one where someone tweeted out from? It was like a fake one, but it just said "anime is now illegal."
Jesus Christ!
Man, but social media land. Well, I'm happy that you're making money on it. That's pretty cool.
Long story made short, we just ripped into social media. Well, like I said, at the end of the day, I want to do what I want to do. The money is nice, little Starbucks money is all good, but it's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. So,
and that's my goal too, because I feel like I don't want to be like an influencer or anything. I really, really don't. But I feel like we're both creative people. I just want that stuff to be out there, and it can just be frustrating, constantly fighting the battle of social media. If you know what I'm saying, like it can be a little exhausting, but. I still think I'm never going to be one of those people who it's like, it's ruining our culture. It's ruining our lives. It's going to be it's not. I think I like it. It's just, it's annoying to fight. It's like this, it's like a really annoying cousin you're friends with. Like you love them, but holy shit, are they dumb.
At the end of the day, I'd rather waste 30 minutes on Twitter or Reddit or whatever than be back in like the 1700s where I had nothing to do except for like farming and praying. They didn't do shit back then. I mean, they literally... Like, can you imagine trying to live in, like, the Salem witch trials era of life and it's just misery and terribleness?
Do you think if you gave a 1600s peasant a Dorito, he would just die immediately?
The flavor! So much flavor!
Like, if you gave him... What if you just, like, gave him a warhead? Like, here, suck on this for a second. And just... They would probably think you were a witch.
You know what I had the other day that I do think would have killed, like, a pilgrim or something? I was at Sheetz, and they had a candied apple milkshake, and it had like a gallon of caramel, a gallon of that candy apple red sauce, and like ice cream and whipped cream. It was probably like 3,000 calories in a glass. It was like my teeth were like they wanted to commit suicide in my mouth. That's how much sugar was just like pumped into my body. I think if I fed that to someone, like, I time traveled back and I was like, here you go, they would die. They would literally die. I mean, because they probably never had sugar. It wasn't like people in the 1600s had sugar, did they?
Of course they had sugar.
I mean, sugar comes from sugar canes. It wasn't sugar canes in medieval Europe.
Yes, there was sugar since like ancient times.
Yeah, but not in like medieval Europe.
Oh, I'm sure it was there. But
I don't know about that. I feel like we're gonna get a listener who goes, actually, there was sugar in ancient Europe, and they
that was me. I am that listener. Actually, there was.
Actually,
But were you up for them for like 14 days straight after that?
Can you imagine? Was there sugar in
You're just-
medieval Europe? I'm looking this up right now. I don't have time for this. Although
I can
sugar
imagine you just
arrived, here we go.
vibrating.
Although sugar arrived in Europe around 1100, it was not widely used until the 16th century. Until then, it was reserved for the rich people who used it to sweeten food and medicine.
So I was right. It was in the 1600s because 15th century is.
Okay.
We said,
Well, still medieval. I said medieval. Medieval is like 1100 to 1600. So.
oh, now you're just moving the goalposts.
I am
That's
not
all
moving
you're
the
doing.
goalpost. I'm just saying. I said medieval.
Back up the
Europe.
truck. Back up the truck. Beep.
Please,
beep,
even the 1700s, you think some like
beep.
dowager of the farm was like, yes, I'll have some sugar in my pot of tea. No, she didn't have sugar. She barely had the tea.
If you could go to any century before the 18th century, where would you go?
I would go to ancient Greece. I've always loved ancient Greece.
I'm probably going to like first level Neanderthal man kind of thing. I want to be like the thing, be like, yo, this is how we grow corn. Like that's what I want to be.
Are you gonna find out what exactly happened to the Neanderthals? Because we really don't know.
I thought they just kind of. How do we not know what happened to Neanderthals? I thought they just kind of morphed.
They just died off. I mean, there's some like evidence that
Didn't
maybe
they
there was like
evolve?
a war. There was like genocide. There was I don't know.
Now you're gonna make me go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole of Neanderthals.
This whole episode is like, how are you? Let's talk about digital media, and then it's Paul and Matt say a bunch of ridiculous stuff that they're not even verifying, just fake news. Let's see. How did the Neanderthals go?
I thought they just evolved.
It looks like the hypothesis is that Neanderthals encountered several interglacials, and that their inability to adapt their hunting methods caused them extinction when Europe changed into a sparsely vegetated steppe and semi-desert. Huh. I guess they just weren't smart enough. Survival of the fittest.
Dumbass.
Girl. You know what Darwin said?
Dumbass.
And Darwin married his cousin. You know he's smart. You know he has it.
What is with you? What are you on tonight, man? You're just all sorts of riled up tonight, aren't you?
I'm an orange juice. All right, well,
But,
I think we probably better call it quits before, people unsubscribe.
Sounds good.
I feel like we've already upset our French listeners. We've already upset our Neanderthal listeners tonight.
The Italian ones too. You probably pissed off.
Yes. Oh God, that's nothing. That's nothing.
And we talked about Mark Zuckerberg way too much for this to ever go viral on Facebook.
Oh, I know. Mark Zuckerberg is probably going to hear this podcast and be like, banned from Meta. All right. Well, hey, we don't know when we'll be back. It could be next week. Could be in the new year. So let's just be safe and wish you all a happy holiday.
Long.
Have a happy holiday if we don't see you.
Later.
Oh, goodbye.